Today is the day. We got Meta, Microsoft reporting earnings after the market closes, and we have the FOMC rate decision. So a lot of different things are going to get factored in today. I hope that you guys are ready for the ride. With that being said, I wanted to ask you, do you want me to go live for the FOMC rate decision? For those that don't understand, today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, there is an FOMC rate decision where the Federal Reserve will announce and report if they're going to be pausing or cutting interest rates. Remember, the markets would thrive if the Federal Reserve would cut interest rates because they make it cheaper to borrow money when they cut rates. If they pause, markets kind of are already factoring that in as of right now. There's a 96.8% probability that the Federal Reserve is going to pause once again. And this is going to be announced in the next 3 hours. And then 30 minutes after that, Jerome Powell, who's the head of the Federal Reserve, will go live and answer analysts' questions. This is a very important time to be paying attention to the market, especially if you're invested, just to see how markets are shifting. If you're a beginner, this is a great time to be paying attention to see how reports like this impact the market, not that you actually have to trade any of it. With that being said, like I said, Meta and Microsoft and Robinhood report earnings today after the market closes. So it's a very exciting time because two big tech companies with trillions of dollars in market cap are finally going to report. Meta is an incredible company. We talked about that earlier this week. It has a great expectation for earnings per share, $5.85, and overall forecast for revenue is $44.72 billion. It has an amazing track record in reporting earnings. You guys know that I like talking crap on overhyped up and overvalued companies. Although I do believe the market as a whole is overinflated, Meta just does a very good job exceeding and keeping up with expectation, but also printing money. It's a money printing machine. And the same thing kind of goes for a company like Microsoft. Microsoft has an earnings per share expectation of $3.37 and revenue of $73.79 billion just for the quarter. That being said, it has an amazing track record in beating earnings per share and beating revenue. I want to remind you that just because it beats the earnings per share or revenue doesn't mean that the market has to react in a positive way. Actually, surprisingly, for Microsoft, it tends to end more in the red than it does in the green. And in my opinion, it's because Microsoft isn't a new, trendy, AI-driven company. Kind of like Google, where it can beat expectation, but sometimes it still kind of falls through the crack. It just doesn't have that hype. In my opinion, these are great companies to be invested in long term. Maybe not at these levels, but overall long term, these are the companies that I would fully invest in. I don't think these are the ones that are as overvalued as companies like Palantir or HIMS or any of those AI or TEM AI fake driven companies. Don't get me wrong, I'm not calling Palantir a fake company. I know that it's a very well-run company. I'm just using it as an example of a company that trades at an insane PE ratio from what it actually makes as a business versus what it actually trades at for its price per share. But again, that is the expectation when it comes down to Microsoft and Meta. The big thing that I think a lot of you guys are going to want to pay attention to is the FOMC rate decision. And remember, that is at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys want me to go live and host that live stream, all I literally ask you to do is smash this like button, get it over to 1,000 likes, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so YouTube notifies you when it is that I go live. And then 30 minutes after, I intend to go live for that entire period. We will listen to Jerome Powell answer analyst questions live so I can kind of comment on what it is that he's saying and what it is that is happening to the market. There is a trade that I took today. I want to show you guys this. It's not doing too hot. Yesterday, I made over $10,000 shorting SoFi. And in today's live trading session when SoFi gapped up, my average purchase price isn't terrible. It's $21.35. So I opened it up right around this general area when it began to consolidate. But again, I got in too early, too aggressive. So I'm waiting for a break of pattern and then I'll add more to it. I'm also looking to add more to my HIMS short, which again, I opened during today's live trading session. So very excited to follow up. I want to remind you, just because I take these trades doesn't mean that you should ever take them yourself. I'm not going to be like the other YouTubers that you follow here or the people that you might follow on Reddit or different Discords. I don't want you to copy me. I don't need you to copy me. I just like to share my ideas because that's all they are to you, right? You should never be trading based off of someone else's opinion, especially when you're just getting started. You should focus on establishing a good foundation, a good set list of criteria that every trade should meet before you actually take it. Not just thinking about upside potential of profit, but also potential downside risk. And in my opinion, no beginner should ever be short selling or, in my opinion, trading options. It's just too risky and you don't know how to manage risk just yet. It doesn't mean that that's not something you can get into. It just means you need to learn how to walk before you run. But again, I know a lot of people don't like when I say things like that. I'm just here to remind you that when you're a beginner, it's best to always look out for yourself and think about worst case scenario. So I appreciate your time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Very excited to follow up on that SoFi trade and see if we end up in the green. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.